Okay, so I'm going to explain the task again. We're going to move on and have a second round where this time you're going to get 3 minutes each to talk to each other. So if you're in a group of 3, you'll only get 2 minutes each. But what I want you to be doing is finding out more about the other person. So the way I've asked you to do that is to get them to explain the contents of their wallet to you. But what you're looking for is things that surprise you, insights that you have. So, for example, if you were to look at my wallet, you would see that my wallet is actually my phone case. I don't go anywhere without my phone case. That it's clearly more important to me to have my telephone than it is to have cash. In fact, I try not to have cash. I've got very little room for cash. So that might give you an insight about me. You might ask questions about that. What I'm really looking for you to do is, at the end of the day, I want you to know something more about the person that you're talking to rather than know something more about their wallet. Because what we're going to do is we're going to design something that will benefit or work for the person that you're talking to. Now, it might be an upgraded wallet. That might be what will make their lives better in some way. But through the insights that you're going to learn through achieving an element of empathy with them, you're going to try and find something else. So I want you to dig deeper this time. This time, I'm not going to drop into the rooms. That caused all sorts of havoc last time. If you've got a problem, can you come back out into the main area and talk to me about that, rather than me trying to go into the rooms, because I just lost track of timing and it was difficult. So I want you to pop back in again. Oh, firstly, any questions? Everybody understand what they need to do well enough? Sorry, is that Casey, are you thumbs upping or waving your hand to ask a question? Okay. All right, that's awesome. So I will send you back into your rooms. I'm setting the timer for 3 minutes and I will let you know when to swap. If you're in a room of 3, take 2 minutes. Off you go. Back into your rooms.
So, hi, Kath, can you hear me?
I can, and I can see
Oh,
you.
yeah. So, for some reason, my partner's internet connection got dropped out for some reason. Yeah, and his mic is muted too. Oh man, such a bad time. Yeah, Vietnamese internet connection lately has been, yeah,
Yeah, look,
not
it's
that good.
everyone. Look, I really appreciate your patience working with me like this. It may be that as we go through the steps, that either you'll need to go back through this exercise with somebody else later. I want you to learn by doing. And I know I'm pushing the limits of the technology and our friendship at the moment by asking you to get involved in these different activities. It's also very hard. This is an exercise that often it's very hard for people to understand what they need to do when I'm in the room.
Mhm.
So when we're adding extra technology in and everything, I just
Even
think we
harder.
all just need to be a little bit patient and just appreciate whatever effort we get there. Trying is enough. You're not going to get marked. We're just going to have a go. So think about the kind of questions that you would have asked to
Mm-hmm.
get those insights. And let
It's
me
time to
just...
swap.
Time to swap.
Uh,
So think about the kinds of questions that you might ask too if they come in, because that's even getting that thinking a bit more about what you learned. So, often I hear questions like, oh, I wonder why he's got a picture of his ex-girlfriend in his wallet, or
yeah, sentimental value.
exactly, or does he has a picture of his grandmother, or he carries business cards because he's ambitious. Or see, think about what insights you can get. So even if you just reflect on the conversation you had, my guess is because we're digging deeper, we're trying to understand him better. And maybe he should have a Wi-Fi dongle in there.
Yeah, I told him to get a physical cable just to plug the thing in because Wi-Fi isn't that reliable when it comes to like online conferences like this.
Yeah, yeah. Look, we'll get there eventually, right? So this is about learning, and it should be a safe space. So yeah, we'll.
Totally comfortable like working online. Yeah, my company is Aussie based too. Yeah, they are in Sydney. Yeah,
Really? So what does your company do?
it is a financial planning company.
Oh yeah.
Usually, do with
Oh, you're the one who
superannuation.
said you had a boring job, and I meant to say it's not a boring job at all. This is a fraught activity in some ways because of using the internet. So a lot of times when you're doing these kind of activities in real life, you have that opportunity to hear the tone of people's voice, see their body language, see a whole lot of things. Where with the frustration of using the web meeting, it can be quite difficult. And some of you will be more familiar with it than others. Arne was just telling me that he works for a company that's based in Australia and he's doing this stuff online all the time. So, he's much more familiar with it. But yeah, here we go. So now what I want you to do, now, whether or not you got insights, it will have been very difficult. But I want you to start thinking about what you learned about your partner. And just take a little bit of time by yourself. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to just synthesize the notes that you took and break them basically into 2 kind of goals. Can you make a statement about what your partner is trying to achieve? Have you learnt something about them, about what their goals and wishes might be? And secondly, so that's the goals and wishes. The second is the insights. Have you learnt something about their feelings? Now, feelings might not be anything that they've said. You might get an insight that, he's got a picture of his ex-girlfriend in his wallet. That tells me something about his feeling. He carries a picture of his grandmother in his wallet. He carries business cards always in his wallet. So, one might tell me he's, still in love with an ex-girlfriend. One might tell me that his extended family is really important to him or his grandmother is really important. The last one might say he's very ambitious and he loves to network. So what I'm trying to do is understand, well, what feelings can you have? Now, you might not have got them from the wallet. You might have got them from their frustration with the technology or any other part of the conversation. So just take 3 minutes to synthesize the learning into the 2 groups: goals and wishes, insights that you discovered. Try and use verbs for the goals and wishes. What does he want to do? And insights, these are the things you're going to be able to leverage when you're creating a solution. So the insights are really important. So just take it, don't switch back into your rooms for now. I'll just give you 3 minutes and we'll just work in silence for 3 minutes to try and identify those things. Five seconds, wind it up now. Okay, so the next thing that you have to do, I want you to try and do it on your own. And look, actually, I am very aware that it looks like I'm going to run over time. So I just need to let you know that now. I'm going to keep going to finish off the exercise. Any of you that are happy to stay to do that, I would love to have you stay with me. But some of you may in fact have another class in about 10 minutes time. So if that is the case, just drop out quietly. If you could just send a note to your partner that you're going so they're not surprised, and I will reallocate rooms if I need to. So we'll make that work. Okay, so sorry about that. It's just the timing. It's very difficult to work out in the best of circumstances. So what I want you to do very quickly, I'm actually only going to allow 1.5 minutes for this one. We're not going to use 3 minutes. We're going to use 90 seconds. I want you to come up with what we call a point of view statement. So for example, that might be something like, if somebody was doing it with me, Kath needs a way to carry coins because she doesn't like having cash, but surprisingly she likes to give money to beggars on the street. That's not a very well thought through point of view statement, but it says something you've learnt about me perhaps, and combines those two things. I've got some written down ones here somewhere. Where have I got? So your point of view statements are things like, Paul, I just see your name there. Paul needs a way to find that, a way to access all his stuff when he's at university. Although surprisingly, he feels a lot more relaxed when he's carrying nothing. Or Arthur needs a way to share business cards with everybody, but hates carrying things in his pockets. Okay, so 90 seconds, have a go, see what you come up with. Okay, how do we go? So what I would like you to do now is just pop back in to your, no, actually we won't do that. Sorry. Now, I want you to take that point of view statement that you have. Let me turn the music off, sorry. I want you to take that point of view statement and think about how you might solve that problem, how you might address the wants or needs of your partner by leveraging some insight that you've found out about them. Now, right now, it does not have to be something that you can actually achieve. Do not let your imagination be limited in any way. If it hasn't been invented yet, that's okay. If it turns out that, your partner needs to go and spend time with his grandmother, even though she died 20 years ago, you can create a time machine for them. Doesn't matter, okay? Whatever your big, hairy idea is. But what I want you to do is in 5 minutes, you're going to come up with 5 crazy ideas, okay? They should be radical ideas. You're just going to either draw them, ideally draw them, or take a little, make a little note of what those things are. Because the next step is you're going to talk to your partner about them. Okay? So, it will be a shame, those partnerships that drop out, but it's been difficult anyway. So, pop your headphones on again. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to come up with 5 ideas, starting right now. Two, one. Okay. Quickly, hold up your piece of paper. Show me what you've got. Don't have to, I just want to see that you've got drawing on it. You've got something there. Beautiful. Don't be shy. You're going to have 10 minutes now. Oh, wow, there's some very cool looking drawings there, I can see. Now, I'm going to give you 10 minutes. Actually, I'm going to make that 8 minutes, so 4 minutes each, because we're just so short on time as it's sorted out. To go back into your breakout rooms, and this time, again, take it in turns. What I want you to do is share your ideas with your partner. So you need to be able to show them what you've done. you need to pay attention to their reactions. What makes them laugh? What makes them whimsical? What makes them sad? What do they react to? What do they not react to? Your job here is not to be defensive about your ideas. You're showing your ideas, and these are low fidelity prototypes of ideas. You're showing them to your partner to learn more about your partner and learn about what would work. So I will convince you over the course that there is no such thing as a bad idea, but there is plenty of ideas that need to be discarded in order to get to the end result. The most prolific inventors, the most prolific product producers, research and development houses, they actually look at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ideas for every one idea that they bring to market. The science shows us that the best way to have a good idea is to have lots of ideas to choose from. So at this stage, you've got lots of ideas, I hope. I want you to share them with your friend, and I want you to really see how they evaluate and then swap. It's also not a bad thing to learn from your partner. If it turns out that your partner's insight about you surprises you, that's a good thing. If your partner has got it terribly wrong, you can tell them that. That's fine. In the circumstances, the chances of you getting it 100% right or even close to right are quite slim. So be grateful, be patient with each other, but share and swap your ideas. So I'll broadcast the word swap when it's time to swap after 4 minutes. So get back into your rooms. Jason, you've ceased to be assigned to a room first. Jason, can you tell me what room you should have been in? Oh, you've just come back. I'll unmute you, Jason.
Yeah.
What room were you in before?
I was with Ken. He left earlier.
Oh, so you're all by yourself.
Yeah.
Anybody else by themselves? Philip, do you want to swap? It'll be a little bit hard to give the feedback based on each other, but if the two of you could work together, then we've got a better insight. Philip, what room are you in? Just put up the number of fingers.
Join us together, or how does that work?
Well, the thing is, clearly, Jason and Philip, because your partners have had to disappear, you won't know whether it's a perfect solution for each other, but you can react to what each other has done, explain the process to each other,
Right.
what you learnt so far, what you've tried, and then get feedback. It's not as good as getting feedback from the person you were designing for, but it's better than no feedback at all. So you're the last one, Typham, who's not in a room. Do you have a partner? What's going on?
She left. She left for her another class of her. So.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know. All right. Do you want to tell me about your idea?
Sure.
Let me give you some feedback. You can share your screen if you wish, or.
So this actually I have a sketch.
It? Good.
Yeah, I just draw it. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's actually so my partner said she lost her wallet once. So I would like it to have like a high tech integrated into the wallet, so that if she ever loses her wallet again, she can find it.
Perfect. Yeah, interesting. So that would connect to her phone or something like that?
Yeah, or like like I think so right now they have the little P technologies for, it's like a GPS tracker thing. You can put it in your wallet.
Yep. So tell me about the next idea.
Yeah, next idea is she doesn't have any photo of her of herself or her family in there. So I think maybe you can, like, when she put her phone in her wallet, it automatically connects and maybe pops up like a photo, like a
nice
thing.
Nice. Yeah. I would like that.
Yeah.
I always have photos of students in student work and never have photos of my family that I can bring up quickly. So
Yeah, so I think like maybe like a screen, like a small screen on a wallet that connect via Bluetooth would be
yes, I'm
nice.
listening to you. I just know I'm going to have to tell them to swap in a second. So,
Okay.
but that's okay. I'm paying attention. So keep going.
All right. And she, my partner said her wallet is kind of big for her purse, so I think maybe is size adjustable. But
Yep.
I don't know how it could be, but like I think if
See, at
she
this
can reduce the
stage,
size.
we're not trying to work out how. We're just trying to work out, well, what she would react to, like what she wants. What do we know about her?
Yeah.
So, if the wallet can get smaller or bigger, depending on the circumstances, is that more interesting to her than the carrying a bigger bag?
Yeah.
So let me tell everyone to swap. You don't have to swap because you're going to tell me what you're doing.
All right. And they said it made a special type of material because she wants to like keep it as long as possible. So instead of just like maybe like a genuine leather, it can make up like special type leather, so she can use it as long as she wants.
Yep.
And lastly is she seems like a person that is like get the job done.
Yep.
It's like
see, that's an
minimalistic.
insight about her. So yeah. That's that.
Yeah. So and like when I talk to her, she seems like a person who's very busy. So I wanted to have like as many like slots or many like holders as possible for her to keep her stuff in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you see how basically, firstly, 5 great ideas in 5 minutes? Like that's pretty awesome, right? Number 1, all of those ideas were connected in some way to insights. Now, when you're actually doing that in a less rushed environment with a problem that you really care about, you will find that you can amplify that enormously. And my guess is, now I don't know your partner, so I can't give you feedback other than what I think. And I guess my feedback is, I love all of those ideas. Why do I have to choose? Could I have a wallet that did all of those things? Or, also really, yeah, I never have enough slots in my wallet, but I wish I didn't have to carry so many things. Is there a way that you can look to a solution that reduces the number of things you have to carry? Instead of having lots of slots for cards, could I have one card that did all of those things? Or do I need, these days, I don't need a card at all. I got a little thing on my watch. See, I just go and swipe when I need to pay for something. But of course, it only comes from one account, so I need another one on the other side for the other account. But you can see, I've done it again. I forgot to I keep forgetting to hit the timer. I'm going to assume that we've been going for about 2 minutes. But I'm going to give them 3 because everybody needs to get that stuff done. So, yeah, you see how you're using the insights again, because the next part of this task is to basically come up with something next. But we're not actually going to do the next parts because we're going to run out of time, or we've run out of time. But what I just want to do is talk about the insights and the experience and then explain what I'm going to do with it. Okay, well, we need to wrap it up, so I'm going to try and wrap it up. So what you have just done is the first part of a design thinking sprint. So you did it without necessarily knowing anything about the process or the background, although hopefully you've done some of the reading. But you will have seen that what we did to start off with was the what is. So what is the current situation? We also connected with empathy. We then tried to come into defining a problem by having a point of view, by creating from our understanding of our partner's goals and wishes, but also their insights about them, we defined a problem and then basically brainstormed some potential solutions for that, and then got some feedback. The next step in a classroom is usually, this is where I bring out the craft supplies, and people would actually build something from pipe cleaners and bits of paper and Play-Doh or whatever tools we have around to just give you something to play with. A drawing or a storyboard can be a prototype, and that's the opportunity then for you to give your partner something for them to interact with, to have a look at, to get to understand. So over the course of the coming week, you're going to get a couple of videos from me going through the theoretical stuff. We have so little time together, I wanted us to do the practical stuff. I suspect going forward we won't have anything quite as crazy as today, where half of the time you're in the breakout groups, because we're just condensing everything so much. But you're going to start working in your groups from next week to really start to understand and to define your industry-based problem. And so you will be using Zoom or Teams or Collaborate Ultra to get together and to do these things. Now, you may or may not end up paired with somebody that you spoke to today. I hope you don't, because I want you to meet as many people as you possibly can and get to find your people as part of this process. I'll sum up more fulsomely over the course of the week. You're going to have to watch out for little videos from me. I'll try and make sure that they're no more than 10 minutes long. But there will be videos and readings. They're going to just drip feed out as I make them. Like everybody, I'm doing this just in time, like you are. One of the things I would really appreciate is I am going to send you a link to give me some feedback, just like you gave your partners feedback on their ideas. In many ways, this first class of ours is a prototype. It's an idea of what I imagine our classes are going to be like. The feedback will be entirely anonymous. I will not know. So if you want to talk to me about anything directly, please send me an email. But I would really appreciate if you could give me some feedback both ways. What doesn't work, what is annoying and impacts your learning, and also what is working, what I'm doing now that works for you, so I can make sure that I'm doing the right thing. The insights work both ways. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I'm absolutely happy to take questions and to continue the chat for a while, but I know you guys have stuff to do, and I will do my utmost to make sure I don't run over time again. My sincere apologies for that. So, any questions, comments, frustrations, compliments, desire to dance off? What's this, Philip?
Given the circumstances, it's still nice to meet like this and to have a class like that. So
that is great. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it. I'm still sharing my screen, aren't I? I'll stop the share so I can see you properly.
Yeah.
So do try and get to know each other a little bit, hey? And take the opportunity. Somebody set up a WhatsApp group for you. I haven't joined it on purpose. I didn't join it so that you can say mean things about me if you want to, and it won't hurt my feelings. But I think creating that separate cohort is really, really important. I am absolutely here to talk to you about any of this stuff, but I've got to work out the best way to do it, not to overload you. Great. Well, I wish I was having a Vietnamese coffee right now. I think you guys need to go and do that yourselves. And are you actually officially in lockdown now?
No, the city is not in lockdown.
It's not shelter in place, but things are shutting down.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're not officially in lockdown either, but we're strongly encouraged to stay home, and the university's 100% closed, as well it is in Vietnam as well. Well, from what I understand, Vietnam's doing better than most other countries at the moment. Although with every single country, my own included, I don't necessarily trust the numbers. If you don't test, you don't know, which is a theme we'll come back to over and over again. Okay, guys.